ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Today's presentation gonna be on the our presentation today. We're gonna concern about Nigerian visa ban imposed by the U.S. government, the same that was imposed by the U.S. government on Cameroon government officials. So it's the same sanction that has been given to the Nigerian government officials. So it's very important because that ban still stands as we are speaking. Most of Cameroon government officials who are promoting the war in Ambazonia cannot travel to the U.S. They will be arrested. So I want us to know that, because that is one of the sanctions that we have been talking about, long time, when the U.S. government imposed sanctions on them. So we take note of that. That is very important. This ban is very important because it tells us that that is the ban. Look at the photo. You see the Secretary of State, the U.S. Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, has him there with the see the one. This is the one of Nigeria. They say U.S. imposes visa ban on Nigeria's election riggers 2023. This is this election. Then this one is U.S. imposing ban on official causing unrest in Southern Cameroon. So you see, the international community, America in particular, when some people say those people who are supporting referendum, they said which country has supported you or which country has done this. The way diplomatic world work is very, very, you can never tell the way they work. Very unpredictable. America cannot come and say we support Ambazonia or we support Southern Cameroon. But think of it. How many bills and how many resolutions has American government passed? Okay, the Senate has passed. Why there is a Senate in Cameroon? They have never discussed on the crisis. Never. They only know to chase away senators who want to talk about the crisis. How do you want to solve a crisis if you don't want to talk about it? It's so funny. The American Senate has passed a resolution condemning the Cameroon government. The American House of Representatives has also passed another one. So even the various the AGOA thing, I want to thank all those who wrote the U.S. government to still maintain that ban. AGOA is the African trade with America. Cameroon membership has been taken off, so they have a lot of economic crisis going on. Okay, I'm very happy because this same ban, the visa ban, is the same thing that we're giving to the Cameroon government officials. It's the same ban that has been given to Nigerian election riggers. They call it election riggers. In Cameroon, they call it those who are causing unrest. So they are the same ban but different purpose, right? Well, it's still the same purpose, I can say, because this ban means that the U.S. government recognizing that there's a problem. In the case of Nigeria, the problem is the just ended election. the recent election that just ended. There was a lot of complaints about rigging and all those things. So American government is taking this action to tell the world that the election that just passed wasn't free and fair. And that is a sign. And remember, the just elected president Tinubu has not been inaugurated. He is going to be inaugurated on the 29th or 28th of this same month. So he's not yet officially inaugurated as a president. So America is doing this like a timing bomb because the case is still in court. The case that the Labour Party took the APC party to court. So this is very significant. I'm bringing this because it ties in with Ambazonian conflict. Okay, the ban that American government gave on the officials of causing unrest in Southern Cameroon. That's very important. They put it Southern Cameroon. That is why most of the time when we are using the name Ambazonia, it's always important to tie the name Southern Cameroon by the side. Okay, you call it Southern Cameroon, aka Ambazonia, or Southern Cameroon in bracket Ambazonia. Okay, that tells you that these are one country. So it is very important that we know about this, okay, so that we see how, those who are against options, okay, I want to say this. We had negotiation, okay, the one in Switzerland that started. You heard how La République did all they could, manipulated some few leaders. These few leaders rejected the Swiss negotiation. They said they will not come there until La République show her consent. Okay. Switzerland government played a very, very vital role. The role was that Switzerland government was ready for the negotiation, and it was financed by Canadian government. It was supported by American government. It was also backed by EU, all these countries. So that was the one of those arena that we believe that La République could have come there, okay, and let's resolve the problem, right, amicably, okay. But La République did not show up, okay. Let's take a listen to this short report. They will come back to this, okay.
It's to Cameroon now, where fighting between the military and English-speaking separatists in that francophone country has killed more than 3,000 people and displaced hundreds of thousands more. It's been nearly a year since the country started a national dialogue to address the crisis, but on the ground, not much has changed. DW gained exclusive access to the front line of the fighting. Our correspondent, Blaise Young, traveled with Cameroonian government soldiers battling separatists in the Anglophone areas in the east, or in the west rather, which are the worst affected by the conflict.
Cameroon's elite forces are raiding the building in front. They're suspected of being a hideout for the country's Anglophone separatist militias. Separatists in Cameroon's English-speaking regions want to create a breakaway state they call Ambazonia. They often use abandoned properties like these as their camp. Cameroon soldiers are tasked with curbing the insurgency, which started as a street protest.
We're not in a state of war, we're in a crisis. We're in a situation where we have to restore law and order. Those men are our brothers who have just gone astray.
This is Ekona, a once very lively town now in ruins. Fighting between separatists and the army has forced inhabitants to flee. It's been like this for 3 years. Nothing in the town is functional, not even hospitals. Soldiers, separatists and civilians have all suffered huge casualties here. Soldiers blame the militias for everything.
As time has passed, we've noticed the conflict has progressed. The separatists have launched a campaign against the population. They carry out kidnappings and ask for ransom.
But the Cameroon army has been accused of committing serious human rights abuses against the local population. Allegations it has repeatedly denied. However, soldiers have filmed burning villages and attacking civilians. Meanwhile, hundreds of separatist fighters have left the movement citing financial mismanagement from their leaders abroad. This man was a separatist fighter for 3 years. He has now joined a government amnesty program.
Some of us have realised everything we were told about the separatist movement was a lie. The leaders used us to make money for them. That's why I stopped fighting.
We leave Ekona with an armored vehicle on our way to a military base in Moyoka, yet another town devastated by fighting. Along this road, everyone has fled. At the military base, security is always tight, the commander tells us. Separatists have their own camps just a few kilometers away. Though the army has set up barracks like these across Anglophone Cameroon, attacks from secessionists still take place. But the army says they are working hard to counter these attacks. The army shows us weapons, including explosives, which they say were seized from the separatists. In another town, this hospital was burned to the ground. Soldiers and separatists point fingers at each other for the act. At least 4 patients died on their beds.
The local population is living in fear because they have the impression that the separatists are living alongside them. But efforts are being made so that they can live in an atmosphere free of fear.
Cameroon's government say they are planning to rebuild the Anglophone regions. Nevertheless, it's still unclear how this will happen with continuous fighting and destruction in the area.
Wow. So from the short report you just saw there, I think you've seen that the Cameroon government believe that their military for the past 7 years can still win the war for them. So those people who for the past 7 years who have not seen the support from the international community, right? There has been a lot of delays. There have been a lot of diplomatic turns within the past 7 years. But we have seen some support from some ranks, from some countries, how they are trying to initiate dialogue. And the recent one that was in Canada, we all saw that La Republic back out from the negotiation process, and that was a win for us, in terms of the peace process And that proved to the world that the Ambazonian leadership and the frontline leaders are ready for negotiation, but La Republic is not ready for that. So La Republic is trying to do whatever they can to manipulate the international community, but they have done that for too long. Okay, that is why now you saw the last week the Hudson University came, invited all the frontline leaders in Washington D.C. for a seminar there to discuss about the possible solution to the crisis. There are many ways we can look at the events that has gone on in the past few days, past few weeks, because La Republic is not ready for even referendum. Yes, nobody has said that La Republic is ready to come to the table. Okay, from their behavior, we know that they are already guilty. Okay, when you see someone who is guilty, you already know that this person is guilty. They don't want to go to negotiation table. They want to bribe leaders. They want to corrupt people. They went and held the referendum, the one they call the Grand National Dialogue. Okay, but that was a sham because it ended. Nothing came out from there. They were coming with something they call special status. I mean, it was just a mockery. Okay, that was a mockery or a slap on the face of our people, because our people did not die because of that. Okay, if there was a special status that they have to give to people from Southern Cameroon, then we can go and buy our own status somewhere. Okay, not the one that like probably will give us. Okay, the issue that we saw, okay, and we have been seeing is that La Republic is claiming that they want to reconstruct Ambazonia. Okay, they have gone and be borrowing money here and there. We are not we are not worried about how much money they go and borrow now, because they know that they'll be leaving Ambazonia. They'll go and borrow all sorts of money wherever they can, but that doesn't concern us. Okay, whoever go and sign the contract is the one who's gonna pay the money, not the people of Ambazonia, because that is what will be on the negotiation table. All this for the past 60 years, what we built, you can't maintain anything. All our companies, all our huge management infrastructures, everything down. So when these people say reconstruction, I'm just laughing. Then they are fooling some of these our own people. They call themselves elite. What can they come and reconstruct? When you see when you go to somebody's house, you go to somebody's house, then that person say, I want to be your house. Can't you even look at that person's house and see the person that want to come and help you to be your house? Because somebody who lives in a kind of way, okay, their own roads are not even fixed. Douala Airport is a mess. One of the worst airports in Africa is Douala Airport. Even the least countries have good airports. They cannot rebuild even their airport. They only destroyed our airport, Tico Airport. Tico had a very good airport. Mamfe, Bali. We had airports. So when some of our elites who are just blockheaded, they'll go to Yaoundé there, sit and believe that those people can come and reconstruct You know, when you add RE in front of any word, it means that that word already exists before, right? It means that that thing, you are just redoing the thing, right? RE, reconstruct, construct. You cannot reconstruct something that you did not construct. Master, let's be factual here now, man. Even small English self more the understand now. They went and had this commission of reconstruction. Can they even ask these people that what did you construct that you want us to go and reconstruct? What are you going to reconstruct? You better put the word construction, right? Construction, not reconstruct. What? How can you, instead of you going to build roads that you have not built, you have not built any roads in Southern Cameroon, you have not built anything. How do you go and reconstruct something that you did not build? Simple English. Our people, the Commission of Reconstruction of the, what can they reconstruct? The only thing that they have to, because they burn it, are those houses in the villages that we can say they are going to do reconstruction, because those people lose their houses, they burn houses. This is to tell you that when a crisis is still ongoing, you cannot go do reconstruction, because they are still burning houses as we speak, right? How do you go and be reconstructing house here, then you go to the other region, they are burning houses? You go this way, they say they are doing reconstruction, then this other village is under fire. What is all that? Because the military are the one burning their houses. Okay? How many bridge has these people built? How many? Since the German, since 19 where that the Germans built those German bridges in Ambazonia. The bridges are still there. They cannot construct anything. You see the way people live. You think that they can come and help you do what? Look at the taxi.
Une carrosserie complètement usée, un volant des années coloniales, un moteur au ronflement assourdissant, une pompe à essence réadaptée en mode archaïque, des vitres inexistantes, des sièges frisant la malaria. À première vue, vous croirez que cet tas de ferraille est en mode abandon. Plus encore, jeté dans un garage dans la rubrique inutile. Tenez-vous tranquille, cette voiture ancestrale roule en pleine ville et fait dans le transport clandestin le tronçon Nkola Fambankwaba. La voici.
For the past 60 years, these people have not built anything. What do you think they can build? Look at the taxi. You still believe in this kind of taxis that they can build? Look at the taxi. When poverty is too much, so many things happen. So many. That's a taxi for you. Take a look at this. Let's a little bit of.
It's to Cameroon now, where fighting between the military and English-speaking separatists in that francophone country has killed more than 3,000 people and displaced hundreds of thousands more. It's been nearly a year since the country started a national dialogue to address the crisis, but on the ground, not much has changed. DW gained exclusive access to the front line of the fighting. Our correspondent, Blaise Young, traveled with Cameroonian government soldiers battling separatists in the Anglophone areas in the east, or in the west rather, which are the worst affected by the conflict.
Cameroon's elite forces are raiding the building in front. They're suspected of being a hideout for the country's Anglophone separatist militias. Separatists in Cameroon's English-speaking regions want to create a breakaway state they call Ambazonia. They often use abandoned properties like these as their camp. Cameroon soldiers are tasked with curbing the insurgency, which started as a street protest.
We're not in a state of war, we're in a crisis. We're in a situation where we have to restore law and order. Those men are our brothers who have just gone astray.
This is Ekona, a once very lively town now in ruins. Fighting between separatists and the army has forced inhabitants to flee. It's been like this for 3 years. Nothing in the town is functional, not even hospitals. Soldiers, separatists and civilians have all suffered huge casualties here. Soldiers blame the militias for everything.
As time has passed, we have noticed the conflict has progressed. The separatists have launched a campaign against the population. They carry out kidnappings and ask for ransom.
But the Cameroon army has been accused of committing serious human rights abuses against the local population, allegations it has repeatedly denied. However, soldiers have filmed burning villages and attacking civilians. Meanwhile, hundreds of separatist fighters have left the movement citing financial mismanagement from their leaders abroad. This man was a separatist fighter for 3 years. He has now joined a government amnesty program.
Some of us have realised everything we were told about the separatist movement was a lie. The leaders used us to make money for them. That's why I stopped fighting.
We leave Ekona with an armored vehicle on our way to a military base in Moyoka, yet another town devastated by fighting. Along this road, everyone has fled. At the military base, security is always tight, the commander tells us. The separatists have their own camps just a few kilometers away. Though the army has set up barracks like these across Anglophone Cameroon, attacks from secessionists still take place. But the army says they are working hard to counter these attacks. The army shows us weapons, including explosives, which they say were seized from the separatists. In another town, this hospital was burned to the ground. Soldiers and separatists point fingers at each other for the act. At least 4 patients died on their beds.
see the soldiers of APLC Ambazonia. They're doing what they're doing. Find the best couplers. That's what it can be as much as it can be. They are well trained Ambazonian APLC. We're so proud of them. So proud of them, as you can see.
So as you can see, these are Ambazonian fighters. They are still strong. I was just saying in that report that most of the government propaganda that they can win the war or they can win the crisis militarily, they are just fooling the international community. Okay. The fact is that for the past 7 years, the people of Ambazonia have respected the ghost towns, have been there, making sure that anything that they do, they respect the laws of the people of the government of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. So that's why they can go out and be telling lies and fake all the news that they are winning or they can win the war militarily. It's a lie. It's all propaganda. Okay, the people of Southern Cameroon, they has a strong force. They has the boys on the ground are ready to fight until. So anyone telling you contrary to that is just lie. Okay, these are the guys who are there. Okay, so
attention at ease. Attention! Forward march! Clap for our military. Stop! Right there! Attention, salute! Present, arm! Release, up! Position! Action! Release, up! Lift up! Forward march! Please clap for our soldiers, clap. On the occasion of installing the APLC leadership today, the 1st of May, 2023.
Attention! The flag is about to be hoisted.
So the Ambazonian fighters are installing the flag in the camp, in the occupied territories. You know, this is what we are saying, that if La République du Cameroun does not go to the negotiation table, if they don't accept a referendum, if they don't accept a peace settlement, they cannot win militarily. Because if for the past 7 years they could not win, they cannot win now that the Ambazonian military, they have the Ambazonian police, they have the Ambazonian detectives, they have so many different wings. So this is the Ambazonian military wing. So when our people say they want peace and justice, it's not because they cannot fight. It's because they want to settle it amicably. But if La Republic say they want war, okay, our people are ready. Because they cannot come and take our land. That is what our people are telling them. They cannot. If they want to fight, okay, so be it. So be it. Our people will not sit down, sit quiet, and see what is going on and will leave it like that. No, it will not happen. Okay? So, we have been marginalized for the past 60 years. Okay? Now our people say enough is enough. Okay? I want us to take a listen to Tibor Nagy, and we'll see what we can say about his.
We know exactly. This question has been asked time and again. Cameroon is already having a relationship with the West in terms of resources. France is their father. Concerning this referendum, all we know is Cameroon is playing the strong man because he has this business contracts, and it's a matter of interest. We know America has interest with the Biya government. That is not questionable. France is there, has interest with. Do you think
the question?
France is going to accept this issue of the referendum because they know the answer, especially in the UN General Assembly, to veto it? Thank you. And Britain also. Thank you.
Well, very quickly, after this, I have to go. Luckily, the United States does not have very heavy commercial interests with Yaoundé. The most significant interests that the United States has with Yaoundé are security interests having to do with what's going on in the far north of Cameroon. And as far as other interests go, I mean, again, look at the situation with Sudan. A lot of people had economic interests in Sudan, but the international community put tremendous pressure on the Sudanese government because of the way they were treating the South Sudanese. You know, they implemented Sharia, they tried to force them to speak Arabic, you know, they did not let them follow their historical traditions. You know, does that sound familiar to you guys with your own situation? So again, I have to leave, but all I urge is, please think about unity and think about common points of pressure instead of organizing circular firing squads and going for purity. And please look at the real world and focus on how you can make effective changes in the real world instead of in this idealized world where, you know, UN resolutions from 1961 have some kind of a meaning. So listen, God bless each of you, because I know in your heart everybody wants to do the right thing, and God bless Ambazonia. Take care and good luck.
Thank you. That was Tibor Nagy. I want us to look at some points that he made. From the short comments that he made, you know, he talked of unity. He talked of the U.S. interests. He said the U.S. does not. He said luckily the U.S. does not have interests. It means that the U.S. cannot favor Cameroon because of anything. Okay, if the U.S. had interests, then they might have been supporting La Republic. But because he said the only interest is the military fight that they have in the north. Okay, and I remember when the U.S. withdraw its military support okay, because they said that La Republic was using that military support to fight. Instead of fighting Boko Haram, they were fighting Ambazonia. And that's why La Republic had before termed us as terrorists. But you don't understand why they were calling us terrorists, because they wanted the US to believe that we are terrorists. But the US cannot believe them because they know the history. They know who Ambazonian, Southern Cameroonian are. Okay? Because they voted. They voted for our independence. So when they were calling us terrorists before, they wanted the American government to keep giving them material, okay, military support to fight. But at the end of the day, the American government told them that this material we are giving you, you should use it only to fight Boko Haram in the north, not these people. For these people, they told them that go to the negotiation table. By then, the US was telling them to go back to Switzerland during the Swiss-led negotiation. La Republique was doing all the manipulation. They were killing our people, doing all kind of atrocities, burning their houses. Okay, so these are the things that La Republique has been doing to tell the world that they can win the war militarily. But all the international community, they have sat down, they have seen that this war cannot be won by their military. Okay, they have told them time and again, but they don't listen. You just saw parade of Ambazonian army. La Republique, the only solution that we can give you now is a referendum, because why we are calling on referendum is because we want our people down there to decide. We don't want to go to a negotiation table, then whatever we discuss, they will come and tell them. People start say, oh, we don't want that kind of discussion, we don't want that kind, because those who are in favor of negotiation should know that negotiation will still end up in something like a referendum, because history shows that we had a referendum before and a plebiscite before when we joined La Republique. So you cannot run away from something that it might be fraud, as some people might say, but we joined them by plebiscite and referendum. So you cannot run away from those two things and say, oh, you already declare independence and you did it. But the international community cannot recognize you because they want something that can give the people the say. Okay, most of the recent independent wars, they fought for many years, fought. At the end of the day, they still go to referendum. So why do you kill yourself, when the path to referendum is what the international community is suggesting? This referendum will not be the one of 1972. It will not be that one. This one will be will be our own referendum. Okay, our people will be registered. It will be restricted to the people of Ambazonia. That is it. No La Republique people will not be voting. Okay, everything will be UN organized, United Nations organized, so it will be internationally supervised. Okay, so whatever some other skeptics are telling you, they are trying to tell you that, oh, this thing, oh, they are afraid who's going to be voting, who's going to be doing this. No. Okay, there will be a commission of referendum that is in charge of that, to organize this thing. So if they pass, I've never seen me any referendum. The only referendum that we know that it was a fraud. It was the one that was organized by the Cameroon government, not international community. That's why even the one that was organized with the South Sudan or Eritrea, it was one overwhelming majority. Overwhelming majority. Okay. We should know that a referendum does not reject negotiation. Instead, before referendum, there must be some form of negotiation. Yes. Because you cannot just go and kick off La Republic military from Cameroon like that. No, there will be a negotiation on who is going to replace those administrators. The United Nations will be there to replace all those people then before the referendum. Okay, it will be a level playing field. So anybody that is, I don't know what is gonna, how they're gonna be doing, what is gonna, the international community want to give us something that they can support. Okay. You can fight for the next 10 years. Nobody will say, well, we have fought for almost 7 years. No one country has openly come out and said they support us, right? Because they don't want to hurt La Republic and they don't want to hurt France. That's diplomacy. What we have to understand is that we have a chance. But our chance can be more supported through referendum. So that is why we are saying that we have this opportunity to give the people of Ground Zero to support this idea also, and we're not only going to be selling this idea only to the people in Ground Zero or to the international community, but we're also going to give this idea to be supported, selling it to the people of La Republic. Let them see the benefit of referendum, that if we end this thing peacefully, we'll be good neighbors. We will live together as good neighbors. Okay? When La Republic is an inland country, okay, they have a small creek there in Douala Port. We will still help them. Our port there, they can do a lot of things. Okay, we can have a lot of trade going on, But when they do this to us, anything that they're doing, that thinking that they want to make our people suffer, all these things, they are instead causing that gap. Okay, they're increasing the gap. Our people will be the one in charge of drafting the modality of the referendum, the process of everything, the registering of the voters, and making sure that the election moves smoothly. Okay. No, our people have gone through all types of harassment, intimidation, and so on and so forth. But from these ghost towns and lockdowns and all those, that tells you that if a referendum comes, our people will vote 99.99%. Yes. So no amount of intimidation, no amount of military presence can stop our people from. So that's it. That's a message to the people of La Republic, so that they should learn. And probably the power change can understand in the Republic. If they change power, when BI is gone, the next president will understand that a peaceful separation of Ambazonian people will help them have peace too in the area. But if they keep their military, keep fighting us, the new government there will not see any good. So the earlier they allow our people to decide through a referendum, it will be peaceful. Allow them to decide if they want to continue or they want to leave. It will be nice on both sides. So that's the only idea we can put forth. Okay, so thank you very much, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and we'll be bringing more, in the other episode. So thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you